shut up. We got talking to do.
We're live.
Oh, hey, sorry to interrupt your ASMR viewing, but thank you for joining us. What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the mother-loving Geek Nation? You're currently tuning into the chilling adventures of the CultPop podcast, episode 27, a show where we talk about movies and television and horrifying core memories and all the other things that scratch your nerdy little itch.
You doing the ASMR thing?
Oh no, that would be something.
Key it up real high.
Everyone out there.
We're coming to you live from our evolving set in the heart, the beating, thrumming middle bits of the Video Content Factory, a bomb-ass production space in Philadelphia, PA. I'm your promiscuous host, Johnny Destructo of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street. Come on down and get you some. With me tonight are Noel Bartocci.
Hi.
As well as Brian Lieb.
Hi.
As well as Len the Bat Tribble Webb.
What up?
And our son, your voice of reason.
What up?
Also, behind the camera is our intrepid producer, Dylan the Great. Remember, if anything goes wrong, Dylan did it.
We have a camera and a microphone this time.
Shit.
God damn it.
Now he can tell us that he didn't do it.
Well,
Just keep it on.
Rest assured, he did do
Our
it.
entire conversation, keep it on the booth. Just the whole time. Okay.
I'm coming out of the booth. Before we get into tonight's discussions, we'd like to thank you all, listeners, for being here with us, whether you're watching live or later on while you're soaking in your tub and lighting some candles.
Is there a reason why you've gone
Please comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you know when we go live and add that
Full ladies'
that
man?
stinky new content.
Is this a Quiet Storm edition of
Additionally, we want you to engage with us, so email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com.
Now it's the van by the river.
Yeah, when you live in a van.
All SNL review FT show.
All references older than 20 years. All of them.
Now on to the portion of our show I like to lovingly call What You Been Up To This Week. Hey, Len, the Bat Tribble Webb,
Yes.
why don't you start us off?
Well, what I was up to this week is that I had a very interesting memory that crossed my mind about this show.
That's the whole show tonight's about memories, so it's great.
A core memory.
This is actually a core memory because it is one of the core memories that I have about one of the guys here on the show, and that would be Brian.
Is that right?
Oh.
No, it would be Brian. Because it was not long after meeting Brian, who I met in the course of doing this show, at the original Hero Complex.
Yeah. Oh, it's so tiny.
It was a tiny little booth.
The hero box.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly what it was.
Shoebox. Yeah.
It was there as we were. Everybody was starting to get to know one another. So like, I guess we're going to be sitting next to one another. We should know who the hell is sitting next to us. And I got to know Brian, and first I had to determine what was the safe distance to sit away from his voice.
Oh yeah.
And you landed on that.
And also his grabbies. He's very grabby.
He's very grabby.
Yeah.
He's very
Just-
grabby.
I haven't been grabbed once.
It's like a.
I'm sorry.
It's a quick snatch. It's not like a grope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You may not have known it. Is what I'm trying to
That's
say.
right.
that's the thing. But in the course of doing that, in the course of I remember in the very, very early days when we were getting to know one another, Brian had said something about he was about to go out with somebody or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's your girlfriend? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I remember
I was
this.
like, what do you mean you don't know? He's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was early on.
okay.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Oh.
2 weeks.
Fast forward. Here we are, years later. Brian is a dear friend of mine.
Thank you, Len.
Love him a great deal. I am this much closer to his voice. And now, hey B,
Hey. How you doing?
you got a girlfriend?
No. I'm
No.
sorry, Len. I got an ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. My fiancée.
I see what what you did there.
There you go. There you go. We were talking about that this weekend, actually. Tamara Galoyan, my fiance, we became engaged on Saturday. It was a joyous, momentous occasion.
Question: How
Yes.
soon, by the minute,
Yeah.
to the minute, how soon did someone ask you? Did you set a date?
It was like almost immediately. I didn't even know the guy.
And
He just came by.
Like you're
Like,
joking,
said
but it doesn't take long for
it
people.
was
to
right away.
Yeah.
I mean, I was obviously exaggerating, but it's like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
This just happened. We didn't figure out. We don't even know what the dates of weekends are coming up.
At your wedding,
Definitely.
literally,
Thursday.
literally at your wedding, people
Yeah.
will ask you, "When do you plan on having children?"
Sure, of
Like
course.
it'll
yeah.
just like it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
immediate. It's
As you walk down
No
the
one-
aisle, they'll
yeah.
be whispering in your
no
ear.
one will let you
Children.
enjoy where you are.
I know,
They will
right?
keep asking you where you're going.
What's next?
So phase them out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, but
yeah.
I'm going to be your favorite girlfriend right
Here we
now.
go.
So how'd you do it?
Well, thank you for asking that because I did want to get into that.
Are you wearing the ring?
No, it's not tradition.
Damn. Isaac.
Are you
So-
are you against it?
No, I wouldn't be against that. I do plan to have a ring on later.
Tomorrow,
a
get
little
her
bit later. I
get
don't
him a
know the
ring.
date.
Tomorrow, put a ring on it.
Put a ring on
Put a
it.
ring on.
So I had an heirloom ring actually to give my great grandmother's ring.
Oh wow.
Yes, which was also my mother's engagement ring, and so I had that, and it was a very nice ring, I thought, right? But so I grabbed the ring in the box. I'm like, I don't know when this is going to happen exactly, but I'm going to have it on me. We got down to Cape May. We were staying on Cape May, right across from the beach. She's like, let's go out for a walk. I'm like, this could be it. Let me get the ring.
Oh, so
we-
you didn't even like really have the plan. You just knew this
had-
weekend you were going to do it.
I had an idea. I was like, I wanted to be on the beach, walking on the beach, preferably Saturday night, because that's when we got down there, and I didn't want to be like holding on to it, and then like half the trip was
Right.
over at that time, you know. So, but it was also raining on Saturday, so it was like not a great time for walking
yeah.
on the beach.
Yeah.
So we got down there, and the rain had stopped, right? So we go down to the beach. We have a little breakfast on the beach and walk for a little while. And she's like, "Let's go check in." I was like, "All right, guess it's not right now." And so we went, checked in, and I'm like, "Oh, but then after this, we're gonna go for a walk on the beach, right?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm like, "All right, let's go." So we go. We're walking around.
So
I got the ring,
anxious.
right?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
like-
I got this. I
Got
keep-
this ring
You said we
burning
were
a
gonna
hole
go-
in your
You said
pocket.
we were gonna go for a walk. Are we going for a walk? When are we going for a walk?
You wanna
like
go
a
for it? If you
Labrador.
want to. Yeah, yeah.
Walkies, walkies.
Yeah. So I keep touching the ring in my pocket without, making it clear that I am thinking about something in my pocket. So we're walking down, and I look in the distance, and there's an area with, nobody really around. It looks like, and I'm like, all right, once we get there, that's when I'll do it. And we're walking, and she's like, let's sit down. And I was like, okay.
Just outside the circle.
Right. And it was a little bit of a circle. So we're walking, so we sit down, and she's on my right hand side. We look, and we see dolphins playing in the ocean, in the water, right? These two dolphins playing. And I thought, well, this is a good time. Now's the time. So I took the ring out. I asked, will you marry me? And she said yes.
Hey.
And so we sat there for a while. The dolphins continued to play. Then we walked. We had a great weekend. So I never thought, right? Getting
She
a ring
would say yes.
resized.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I never
I
thought.
was just like, I'm gonna try. right,
We've
right.
never
He does
discussed
this every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first time she said yes. Really wore her down.
Well, it's the first time I had a ring. So, which is we figured out about or exactly 100 years old.
Oh, nice.
The ring. Yeah.
Oh.
My great grandfather proposed to my grandmother probably in 1923, but they were married in 1924. So
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So she was very touched, and thinks that aspect of it is very special too. So where was that? Getting the ring resized. I just figured you go into a jeweler, you like can change the size of this, and then they do it. Nope.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think they'd just blow on it, but
Bigger, smaller, adding pieces, removing pieces. Yeah, it's
It's a
intense.
thing.
Also too, be prepared for even though they size it and measure,
Still
won't fit. You'll have to do it like 3 or 4 times.
it's already done.
Nice.
So,
Good.
Yeah, we went to the first place. They're like, oh, Robert Monroe Jr. and Sam say congrats to me, and I thank you both. Thank you very much. So we went to the first place. They're like, oh yeah, it'll be like 8 to 10 days if they were even accepting clients. Next place is like 8 to 10 days. Third place, in a state jeweler, they're like, we don't do it, but this other place does. So we go there. They were able to do it by the next day.
Oh.
Wow.
So she's wearing it now. Yeah.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you all. Thank you all. We got. Thank you, Randy.
I don't think any.
Thank you.
See, it's funny that it never even crossed my mind that you didn't know Brian as long as I've known Brian.
Oh,
So
wow.
I've known you since like 2005.
20 years, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh my
Whenever
God.
you started working at the comic
Yeah,
store.
yeah.
Is when we
Yeah,
met.
he was one of those guys that was
Yeah.
every
Yes.
week
Yeah.
in the joint.
Yeah.
Nice.
Every week.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
brother.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah. We got a bunch of professional photography, which I told her we were going out for a nice dinner, bring some nice stuff. Don't mind the suit jacket that I have. You have no reason. And so she brought some nice stuff.
Why are you in my drawer? There's no reason, baby. Let's get in the
Respect my
car.
privacy. Like you're getting really mad about a jacket.
Yeah. But that was her idea, to get the professional photography.
Oh, okay.
And it's phenomenal. It looks great. I'm so happy that we did it. We just had a really pleasant, nice stay in Cape May.
Congrats.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yay.
Y'all are a
Cool.
very sweet couple.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So when's the date?
Oh, goddamn.
I'll let you know. I'll get back to you.
Is she pregnant?
None of us
Not
are
that I'm aware of.
No one's invited.
I have some pretty big news myself. It's not
Really?
quite as big as
Not as big as
Brian's
that?
momentous occasion,
That's
but
all
I have been watching Barry. It's a television show.
Did you watch it on the beach?
Same
nope,
level.
nope, just
Yeah.
at home.
Not
I go
Just
for.
at home.
Well, you went for a walk with Bill Hader first.
I did, yeah.
That's nice. That's
And
nice.
then
What I've been up to this week is lame. I watched Barry, and has anyone watching Barry?
Yeah.
I have seen 1.5 episodes.
I've seen all of them that are out. Yes.
Okay, so you saw this previous episode that just dropped
When
recently,
did it come out?
last
Sunday.
week,
Sunday.
The day after I got engaged? No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Well, that
one.
was also days ago. You could
Well,
have done.
I forgot that it came out.
He just got engaged.
Let me warn
so he's
you.
been engaged.
This episode,
Time is different when you're engaged.
It's true.
Yeah.
I love Barry.
Yeah.
The show. I don't know any Barrys myself, but the show Barry
Barry
is
Manilow.
delightful and wonderful. Barry Allen.
He doesn't know either of them.
I don't know them.
Barry Lane.
Every
Shout out.
episode-
One's
So-
fictional.
Every episode of
Two are
Barry
fictional.
is great. And then I just watched the new episode of Barry, and it is the first time where I was just like,
Just a little okay.
do can this be over soon, please?
Because this is the final season, right?
Yeah. And there's something happens where I was just so uncomfortable the entire episode. Everything about this episode is awkward and cringy, and I was like, I hope this is done soon.
But so it was cringy. Was it purposeful?
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, then that's good.
Terry,
then.
you're watching it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking
It's a
about.
bit of a
I think
flash forward.
Well, that's where we are now.
Yes, that
nowadays.
episode.
But I'm curious if you are referring to a GIMP type of scene.
Like
I'm
from
talking
Pulp
about
Fiction.
the whole episode.
Whole episode.
The whole episode I
actually
found
was
to be-
more cringy the one before this.
Yeah?
Where you start to see cracks in the
Firmament of our reality. What?
No, you see cracks in the.
No, that
the
would've been
girl
cooler.
starts acting real.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's the one I'm talking about. I may be behind one.
You might be behind one.
Yeah.
Because the one you go into is.
The
Wow.
house.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
house was part of it.
Yes,
Do you not
okay,
remember
great.
the GIMP?
The GIMP. I don't
It's
remember.
part of the house.
Oh.
It leads into the house, and it's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
This
Maybe
is
I'm
this is
2
so
episodes
weird
behind.
because you don't remember what it seems like a very memorable thing.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean,
Well, I was
So
also
you're not
very
wearing-
They're hard to
uncomfortable.
forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not in every
I'm
show.
definitely Team Barry.
The GIMP
Yeah.
is a very specific thing that should be remembered.
It's written and directed like at an expert level that is
Yeah.
really
It's-
seen,
isn't it
and
Bill
it's
Hader?
amazing.
Yeah.
So if you
Yes,
are,
yeah,
if
him
you
and
are,
somebody else.
if you're squirming and it's bothering you that you're squirming, then yes,
It's
to Len's
working.
point, they're doing it on
Oh,
purpose.
no,
It's
no,
not
I'm
out
not-
of being bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's on purpose. This is a masterful TV show, and everything is on purpose. Everything, I believe it. I'm just saying, it's the first time I've watched on the show that it was a tough watch. So
watching
I-
this particular show.
Yes.
Gotcha. I got
So
you.
I may
I-
be an episode or 2 behind where Terry is. I didn't
strap
realize
in.
that.
I-
But
No,
yeah.
the house makes sense.
Okay.
If we're
I-
talking about the same house.
Having not watched Barry yet, I also too had a tough watch this past weekend that I want to talk about.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, is this part of the Barry conversation still?
No, I was trying to do a segue, but we stopped that now.
Go ahead.
No, what you been up to this week? Huh?
I had a really tough watch. I decided to go see Guardians of the Galaxy again because I kept thinking about it, so I
Okay.
wanted to see it again. Better the second time. We'll
Oh,
honestly
good.
say it was better the second time. However, I opted to. So my wife was out of town, so I decided to upgrade the film going experience in ways that she wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
So I went in 40x.
Ooh. How was that?
It was horrible.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was legitimately horrible. This is not the first time I've done 40X. So those that don't know, 40X is essentially turning a movie into a simulator ride.
Yeah.
Your your chunk of 4 seats moves on a gimbal to what's happening on the screen. There's smoke. There's things that prod you in your seat. There's
air
mist or air
compression.
compression behind you. So at some points it's kind of nifty. It's like, oh, that's cool. But then at other points, you're literally being thrown out of your chair because there's no seatbelt or anything.
Yep.
So we had seen it with Scream 6,
Which is awesome.
which was kind of cool because
Yeah.
it was like a prod in the back, and every once in a while you get a jolt, and that's fine.
My favorite bit of that, if I may, when Ghostface goes to and gets through the by the ear, like just misses somebody. There's an air pressure that hits your ear that goes.
Yeah. So you actually
It's
felt
very
like
cool.
somebody try and slash behind you.
Now, Sam says, I don't like to be poked and breathed on while watching a movie, and I'm not sure if that's in reference to what you're talking about or just your watching habits
that
at home.
sounded weird.
Yeah.
That's in reference to us going to see movies together.
You guys
about
on
to
the,
say,
on the
that
couch
sounded-
at home. Yeah, I got you.
In public.
Sure. Oh, sure. Okay.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
It's dark.
Yeah.
You're married.
Bring the lights down 40%, game on. Anyway,
That's in your future, B.
Very visible.
40 or more.
Oh, all right.
Not ideal, doable. So the space battles were so jarring that it really was like there were times I was so tense, just like trying to cup my hands into the cup holders to stay level.
Wow.
It was really, really bad. Like to the point of maybe somebody should have checked and made sure that it wasn't like full tilt. Yeah. There were specific scenes. Have we all seen it?
Yes.
Did you get a
I
chance
have.
to see it yet?
No, go ahead. I don't.
Just people doing things in space. There's lots of monsters outside of the spacecraft, and Rocket skids against the other bigger ship to like kick them off. You're literally being jetted left and right like a fucking rag doll.
Wow, that does not sound
To the
fun.
point where you can't even focus your 3D glasses on the goddamn screen.
Oh, then you're watching it.
It was it was just too much. It was way too much.
Yeah.
However, still cried like a small child 4 times.
Nice.
It was a better movie. It was a better movie the second time because a lot of the beats hit better, and it was wonderful.
What you're saying is,
Go see it.
if I
Skip
go
40x.
see this movie and get thrown out of my chair, that's
I'm make sure there's no fine print in the ticket or
dope.
something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Just double
because
check.
Maybe
it
don't
was-
announce it on a
You
podcast.
may die.
I feel like an old man, but I feel like an old man. Like it was just like too much. It was too much. Like I'm like, oh, I can't handle this. Like,
I went to see Hobbs and Shaw for Sushan and I went to go see that for our first 4DX.
Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
That's the one, yeah.
oh yeah.
And we thought if we're gonna have a ridiculous experience, let's really amp it up. And we walked out of that being like, I feel like it's weird that there's no seatbelts on this thing because we had a similar experience with the. It does get to the point where you're like, this feels a little bit unsafe.
Yeah, like
I thought I saw something
20%
that had, like,
too
a
much.
strap or something. They don't have the strap.
No,
Oh, wow.
and I was in like maybe 3rd or 4th row back, so it was a little closer too. And I don't know, like my neck was tense the whole time. Just real old man problems. Just go see it in IMAX at most.
Yeah.
Did they? You remember those things like Star Tours in Disney World or whatever
yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
run?
It was that without restraints.
Do you have? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do those have restraints?
Those,
Yeah.
those
Okay.
solely have restraints. And the difference is those are. It's a short ride.
Yeah.
You know, this is 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours sustained
Right.
of violence.
One of my favorite bits, though, is usually by about 3/4 of a way through a movie, I really have to pee. So it's nice. They put a nice, gentle little warming packet on your bladder. And squeeze a lot.
And sometimes there's mist at you, so if
And
you
then-
pee,
yeah,
nobody
yeah.
notices.
And there's little prods that tickle you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would pay an extra $10 to see a movie if I could pee in the seat.
Right.
Just like a little.
You think that's only going to be $10?
Hold on. Can we get
On a tube, hooked up tubing.
clarify?
can watch
Clarify.
the whole thing.
A way for you to go pee.
Yes.
Or just that I
just
can
want to
piss
be able
when I
to
want
pee.
Like those are two totally different things, man. It's like,
Just
do I
go in
want to
there
not
free
be
ball.
judged, or
I want each seat to have a pair of pants that you put on and pee into.
Oh.
I feel
Oh,
like a
nice.
hose apparatus
You
would
could
probably
just
be
bring
better.
That's what I was
those.
thinking.
Yeah.
Something like that is easier than a pair of pants.
Just,
Yeah.
you know,
Better off just making
30
grenades, man. You know.
give me one of, you know, Brian and I used to work in a movie theater. I'm telling people like us to learn how to put a catheter in and let's go. I would pay for that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to trust little Tamika to put a catheter in me.
Yeah, why don't I do it
I
myself?
said Brian and Terry.
Why do-
Why
can't you handle that
goes in
yourself?
my
I mean,
urethra.
Brian
No,
used to
we're
run a
a
movie theater. If
I did.
anybody's gonna know,
It would be me.
Apologize.
We are a team.
No,
I'm
I
in.
thought about you this week
Oh, hey.
because on Monday I saw Fast X.
Oh, I saw your mini review. Repeat it, please.
It is dumb as rocks,
Amazing.
but entertaining as hell. And
Massive.
Jason Momoa,
oh my God,
Is-
Jason Momoa was born for these movies.
God
he
tier.
is
S
having
tier.
the time of his life. And this is the best performance Jason Momoa has ever given.
Low bar. Excellent choice.
He is fan-fucking-tastic in this
Wow.
movie.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It's dumb as rocks.
Yeah.
And there are things that, of course, Vin Diesel does that defy the logic of
Everything.
the universe.
This is a 10 movie joke. Like, will they pay me to do this or this?
Remember how?
What about this? And people keep saying people
Yo.
keep saying yes to the point where it's like,
yes, Andy.
fuck it, okay.
But the beautiful
Yeah.
thing is just like even more so with the last movie when the whole joke was about Tyrese talking about how I'm seemingly invulnerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They lean even more into that this movie
Hmm.
because there literally is a character that's like, how the fuck did these street racers become like a team of James Bond?
Yeah.
There's a lot of character progression over 10 movies.
You know how, right?
Movie 1 through 4.
Family.
The
Dude,
power of family.
dude, it is all in this movie. It is everything you want is in this movie. And remember how the joke was that Vin Diesel now, you know, like once he went from stomping his foot to smashing a floor and
Yeah.
pulling chains out of a wall
Yeah.
and jumping a car across 3 buildings.
Yeah.
You ain't seen shit.
I mean,
yet.
so the final trailer dropped, and after the show, we'll watch it.
Oh, will we? Okay.
Don't watch it.
The final trailer dropped. First of all, it shows so much, but I know that it shows nothing.
I'm telling you,
It's just
don't
the
watch
explosions.
it. Don't watch it. I'm telling you, but the movie.
There's a featurette also that I watched yeah.
Jesus Christ! This is why I thought of
The
you.
algorithm knows what I need, so it's fine. But of all about Momoa and his character, and he looked like he was having so much fun, and pretty much everyone behind the scenes was just like, "That's all. That's like Jason," and we put a camera in front of him.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's
That's
the
fun.
same exact dude, but like evil, and
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Two things.
Yeah.
First, I don't know if any of you have driven down 95 in the last few days.
No.
Yeah, actually.
So on the drive down 95, Delaware has been really good about their signs about like, oh, you know, slow down, whatever. Today, don't drive so fast and furious. Next screen, that's ludicrous. Drive safely.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, they.
That's kind of fun.
Mwah, they nail
I've
it
never seen
every
them doing
time.
that.
This
Yeah.
is
I like
the
that.
brand. This is the
Yeah.
newest one.
Yeah.
The second thing is there's a series of I think it's Black People Twitter or something. They have this thing of like, what was the moment when in Fast and the Furious
It's transcended Black Twitter. It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Just some of the goofy shit that you see happen. You're like, wait. Because I think I've seen all the movies. I haven't watched 9 yet.
It's not
You
good.
didn't
but,
see.
but-
God, no, I did
do
see,
it.
I did see 9.
It's not
that was
good,
the one
but
where
do
they're in
it.
spa- that was the one where they're in space.
That's
in
space.
space?
I didn't
Yeah.
see 2. I didn't see 8.
They
I
went
didn't
up in
see the.
space.
I mean, it
didn't see
wasn't. They
I
didn't
see the
spend a
summary.
lot of time in space. It was
But
just.
they went
it was
to
just
space.
Time.
Just a
it was
quick
just-
trip.
It was crusting the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
And yes,
I
it was a
got you.
car.
Yeah.
Car.
There were rockets on it.
Yeah,
Was it sealed?
Yes, it was sealed.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Like
Yeah.
they just drove off a cliff. Like,
Yeah,
No, they didn't just downshift.
Don't act like it wouldn't be possible.
when you hit the NOS at the right time, you actually.
Hi, Eddie.
No, my
ahead.
favorite one of those was people doing different movies. Like the moment when like I checked out a reality in the Fast and
Yeah.
Furious
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
and they were showing clips of like Triple X, different Vin Diesel movies,
Yeah, oh my
or like
God.
of Riddick, and they're just like, none of it's good.
Oh, see now, I liked Riddick.
There was one where in Endgame, where Captain Marvel flies down to the ship, it's Vin Diesel with his car. He flies through Thanos' ship and flies back.
That's hilarious.
There's, I know
That
not
was
everyone has
great.
seen all of them, but there's a part in part 4, specifically in part 4, where like the cast comes back, where, and it's the first time that they kind of do something so stupid that you're like, okay, this is the kind of movies I'm watching now. It's when he gets to this stretch of road where Letty had a car accident.
Oh, yes.
And he crouches down,
Yes.
like licks the pavement, and there's like some residue of like NOS, and he stands up, and it's this whole like Jedi omniscient vision that he's seeing of the car accident that occurred there, because he was able to tell from the tire marks when and where they braked and what happened.
He's
over there.
Sherlock Holmes.
And they're
Wow.
showing,
Like
and they're
Boondock
literally-
Saints.
they're like showing it
That's it.
around him, and you're like, oh, he's omniscient. He's a god now. And then it just kept going from there. I was like, I'm in. That's fine. I'm in.
Give me all of it. Give me all of
6
that.
movies later, my tickets for tomorrow night at 7:20 in IMAX.
What was that the
I'll see you
one
guys after.
where was it
Any assassins who want to get rid of Noel? That's how you do it.
was it
I
John
didn't say what
Cena
state. Yeah, well,
was
actually, it
falling
is.
off of something, and he drove Dom drove the car a little bit faster and hit the car in front of him, so that John Cena bounced off the car. That he was gonna hit the ground again, but he hit the car and then bounced off, and somebody caught him.
Yeah, that was right before.
So he would be fine. He would
That
be
was
fine
right
then.
before. That was in
Yeah.
part 9. That was
That was
right
in 9?
before
Okay.
he hit another car that propelled it into a man standing on the car next to it.
See, what I like
so he
about
threw
this,
a car at him.
what I like about this is that it just affirms my theory that I had when I was 5, that if I'm in a falling elevator and I just jump at the last second, I'll be fine.
Facts.
You'll be
mean-
fine for like one more second.
You got that extra second, like flashes.
Hey, Randy, what you been up to this week, huh?
Nothing nearly as exciting as you guys. But I don't have my cable anymore, so now I'm just watching Netflix and Amazon
Yeah,
Prime.
man. Yeah.
There you go.
All I do is
Welcome.
watch spy shows on Amazon Prime
Oh.
or on Netflix. So the last 3, I already talked about Bodyguard, talked about The Recruit, I talked about The Night Agent. This week is
This
In
week's
from the-
Spy.
In from the Cold.
Okay.
It's
That's
about
old, though, is it?
No, this is brand new.
Okay.
This lady she was a former Russian spy. And they find her. She's on an ice skating trip with her daughter in Spain. And the CIA finds her, and it's pretty cool. And then there's a thing that happens where you're like, what in the hell? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I'm like, what? What? Like, because there's no mention of it in any of the nothing. And it
Oh.
happens, you're like, what?
Is that
Is this
good?
a movie or a series?
It's serious.
Okay.
When does it happen? Episode
At
1,
the end,
2?
yeah, the end of episode 1.
Okay, so you
cool.
don't have to wait that long for the hook.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yo. But it's dope. It's really, really dope. She's hysterical. I forget, what's her name?
Linda Fleming?
Linda Fleming.
Lydia.
Lydia Fleming.
Lydia.
That's her daughter. That one.
Margarita Liviava.
Yeah.
Liviava.
Man.
Margarita Liviavi.
Lord Jesus.
Have you watched Citadel yet?
I did.
Yeah, well,
I just started watching Citadel.
good?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Citadel's
We'll
fun.
talk about it.
It's
I heard
fun.
I heard it's stupid, but like
No,
really
it's
pretty.
It's very pretty and it's fun. It's a little goofy.
I'm okay with Goofy. We just had a
Yeah,
5-minute
yeah.
conversation about Fast and Furious.
Facts. It's a little goofy, but it is a lot of fun.
I'm okay
Stanley
with
Tucci
Goofy.
is amazing.
I love Stanley.
He's good on
yeah.
CNN. He's good everywhere. It doesn't
And,
matter.
Priyanka Chopra is...
Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Priyanka Chopra.
Put some Jonas on that name.
that Jonas. Listen,
She did.
Yeah.
if Jonas isn't on there, she can still be mine. That's what I'm saying.
Denial is a wonderful place.
Say word. Yeah, no, Citadel, both of them are a lot of fun. But yeah, In from the Cold, that first little,
43.
you're like, wait, what? Okay, cool.
Y'all
In
looking
the
up
show,
Priyanka
I think.
Chopra.
No.
You know, look up Priyanka Chopra Jonas. No, I'm just kidding. Have you seen a goof? Oh, okay, we're looking on the
Here we
Eddie Madison. How do y'all? Ant-Man 3 is now in Disney Plus. If anyone wants to
Sounds
revisit
good.
it,
I do want to revisit
I
it.
like that movie.
Have you
it's
seen?
Getting, it's getting
Yeah.
so much flack, but I don't understand why.
It's
don't know why
a
either.
silly, it's a fun silly movie.
It's like, so are all the Ant-Men.
You know, it's
I
fun-
think
you know,
it's-
it
not
didn't
as silly.
start getting any flack till the John Major stuff came out. Everybody was all about that movie and it was amazing and blah, blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
actually, a lot of people
That's not what I
disliked it.
heard.
And then
Hold on. No, I will like the criticism I am seeing now of people like watching it on TV now, that it feels, especially like with Guardians still feels like physical spaces, whereas Quantumania feels like, oh, this is a green screen movie.
It's a microverse.
it's a microverse.
Right.
How's it
Hold
not?
on. Hold on.
yeah,
Guardians,
but
Guardians
that's
literally.
That's all about the setting. It's all about the
it's just
set, the
set.
set design.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
But that's
Guardians
still our
has
reality.
just as much, if not more,
Nowhere?
special effect like settings and stuff. Still feels more grounded than
Yeah,
Quantum.
Sure.
It feels real.
It's just that, and Eddie Marson asks, "Have you seen a Goofy movie, dude?"
We just talked about that, didn't we?
I don't know, but like that's one of my favorite animated movies.
Is that right?
Who has not seen a Goofy movie?
have
I've
not.
never
It's a
seen a
black
Goofy
movie.
I never
movie.
saw it.
It's amazing.
Wait, why
I
is
guess
it a
so.
black movie?
It
Oh,
is-
Goofy's black.
It's that. Well, no, it's not that Goofy is black, but
He is.
a lot of what happens in that movie and his relationship with his son is very much is coded in the black experience, and that's why we reviewed it on the Michelle Mission.
Nice. The Michelle
Very
Mission.
black, yeah.
What an excellent podcast.
I like it. It streams right here every Tuesday from the Video Content Factory,
I also-
Philadelphia's premier podcast video.
I also,
place.
yeah. If anybody's not listening to that, go listen to it because I'm absolutely loving May. The fact that it's all terrible movies.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's
It's
fun.
so.
What did I miss?
Was it Mother May I have
Mother
another
May
better
the-
movie? Yeah.
Mother, may I have another bad black movie?
Are you guys ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Nice.
Everybody good? Strapped in?
I'm a little scared to move on.
Are you
Terrified.
scared?
That's what it should
Terror
be.
05.
So the thrust of our show tonight will
Okay.
be
Tree.
I don't what horrified us as a kid. So originally my idea was children's films, quote unquote children's films from our childhood that maybe weren't as childlike as they could have been and maybe
Kid-friendly?
horrified us. Yeah, kid friendly as we may have hoped. But I think we're just doing an overall what traumatized us, what sort of pop culture traumatized us as children. So it doesn't have to be kids movies. They can be adult movies that you may have seen a little bit too early. So that's sort of the gag
or,
of the
or things that you were shown or seen.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to. Some of the things on the list aren't necessarily media so much as like this could be a VHS box art.
Oh, yeah.
That scared the shit out
Oh,
of you when you were
and
interesting.
like
that happens.
Right.
That happened to
Right.
me.
But when you mentioning scary like children's movies that maybe for one reason or another it's like maybe
Yeah.
second pass on this, and that made me think of two Disney films
Ah,
that historically actually had that. That
Hmm.
complained about them, and no one wants to try and guess one.
I do want to try and guess one because it
Go ahead.
almost made my list. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
No,
Okay, Bambi.
What movie is that?
no,
The Black Cauldron.
no. But
Oh, I love-
Black
I-
Cauldron is not.
Fan-
Black Cauldron is not a bad one, but that's not the one that I was thinking of.
Fantasia.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, good one, JD.
Was it?
What?
Not good enough.
The first one was Sleeping Beauty.
Is that what it is?
Maleficent?
Maleficent.
Oh.
Maleficent, when she
alright.
turns into like the dragon. I remember it was intense for like kids growing up. And the other one is The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Really?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame. If you look
With
at
the
that
talking
movie,
gargoyles and shit?
yeah, but if you look at that
From
in
the
that movie,
90s?
yes, there's some. I think there's the scenes where like the whole. First of all, when he is singing, who's the bad guy in that? I forget his name.
The
Volvo?
bell.
Cardinal, the
Yeah,
priest.
the cardinal. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
sings a song,
Who apparently is a zaddy now.
and he's got like there's like
Indeed.
flame around him and stuff. A lot of people. I remember like it scared my daughter. My daughter
Oh,
was
no
like a
kidding.
little
So
scared about that.
So Sam and Dane have been jumping in the chat about things that traumatized them.
Yeah.
Now I feel like that's another topic altogether because we threw out Dumbo was traumatizing, and it was.
Dumbo, yeah.
It's a different type of horrifying,
Yeah,
but
That's
yeah.
true.
The mother
A
stuff.
lot of people got traumatized about him
Like,
losing his mother.
Separation,
It was-
being
Also-
stolen from your
also,
mom kind of shit when you're 8.
I was spooked.
remember that movie.
I was
That was
spooked.
me. That was me.
It's trauma.
I was spooked by the Dumbo scene. Isn't there a scene in there where like he gets high
Yeah.
and there's all these dancing elephants?
pink
They're-
elephants on
Pinocchio?
parade.
Elephants.
Wait,
No,
they're
look-
called something.
Isn't that Pinocchio?
It's pink elephants on parade. isn't it?
Oh, that
it-
song terrified me. That whole
And then
sequence.
Dane jumps in with Artax in the Swamp of Sadness and Never Ending Story.
That was sad too.
That's
That was wild.
That's
Dude,
traumatizing.
that was
yeah.
that was like, oh wow, he's
It's
gonna
a,
lose
that's a
that
level of scary that you don't know how to articulate when you're a child.
yeah. the dude death.
To be fair, the little still that we have up does say childhood trauma.
It does.
Drama.
Okay.
Well, let's.
Instead of
All right,
childhood
we haven't
terror.
even started yet.
Here it is.
So, unless,
wait,
Len or no, Randy.
You'll get one.
Yeah,
One
one
of
of
us.
Go ahead.
Transformers the
Turning into
movie
my mother.
was traumatizing.
Oh yeah.
Because that was because you was used to every
Yeah.
week somebody would get shot
Shit.
and then they would get back up a few minutes later.
It became real.
and then the
Gray
first
Optimus?
minute and a half of that movie, they was like, blah, blah,
When he turned
blah,
gray.
dead,
That was
dead,
the moment.
dead.
When he
Oh my
turned
god,
gray.
everybody's
Yeah.
dead. Like
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, okay, this is where this is going.
You know,
Gotta restock the toy shelves.
there was a scene. Like, of course, there's the scene with Optimus where he turns gray and the head tilts and
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
tears. But the thing that actually fucked me up was there's a scene where Megatron is wrecking shit on one of the ships,
In the ship.
and dude is clutching at his foot, and he just
Ironhide.
takes his
Yeah.
giant cannon
Yeah.
and off-screen blammo
Yes.
right in the face.
That was the whole, and that was
You
the
don't even
first
see it.
10 minutes of the movie.
I know
Yeah.
you hadn't even like put your hand in your popcorn yet.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Kids were sitting there
That's
like,
a good one. I want to transform into
there was no
therapy.
warning.
I know.
Nothing.
You thought you were sitting down.
like,
for
hey,
therapy.
oh, 2 hours of Transformers at one time. Okay.
You came with your toys.
Mommy, what's
And
lost?
Optimus just fell from your hand.
That's a webcomic.
What's lost?
All right, let's start with Brian.
Hey,
What horrified you as a child? We're going in order because there's photos.
here we go.
Yeah.
Even though there were multiple segues that would have worked out very well to talk about
Yeah.
other people's things. So here we go. Now, I'm not a big horror movie fan. In fact, I don't like them, right? I don't like to go and scare myself for the purpose of scaring myself. And that
sure.
might be because of my natural proclivities as a human being. But it also might be because of Nightmare on Elm Street, a movie I have not fully seen. I saw one scene, and that scene that I remember, that scene was when there one or more people are in body bags and they sits up, and I was like, and they're all bloody inside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
And the
take it easy.
the body, take it easy.
Yeah.
Take her easy.
Yeah.
Time to hit the dusty trail. The body bag is clear, and it's a scene where Nancy, our protagonist, has fallen asleep while Lin Shaye is reading some poetry. And she falls asleep, and her friend, who was just murdered a couple of scenes previously, is out in the hallway and gets dragged by nothing down the hallway. And there's just a trail of blood, and she's just being carried about, just dragged about the hallway by something that is unseen. So excellent scene. Although
I disagree.
you should keep watching because there's way more traumatizing things in that film.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I might be affected differently, but I'm not going to
sure.
watch it.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
that movie is brimming with really visual.
Horrifying imagery.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why would they even make body bags clear? Was that a thing at the time, or?
They were recyclable.
Oh, that's nice.
They,
See, I didn't know that as a kid.
it was a special deal with Ziploc. Translucent was
Yeah.
enough.
Ziploc had just accidentally made these really big bags,
Yeah,
and they needed the,
Like, we gotta
makes
move
sense.
these. Have you talked to corners? Yeah, it was a
we
whole-
talked to this dream monster. You're right. So yeah, that was one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you. The next one, not a movie, was a book. I don't know why I read this book because that other event had already happened, and I already was like, not that into scary stuff. Scary stories to tell in the dark, with a black and white and a little bit of red and blue in the cover, right? Now, a number of them really freak me out, but the one that stands out is I don't know what the story was. There's a guy on a fence, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if he's. I think it's like this dead person is
He's a
on the
scarecrow.
fence, but he's a scarecrow, but he's like
scarecrow.
a living or
Yeah.
could have been a living guy. I don't know. Man, something about that. Just that imagery, and he's on the fence, and I think the whole thing is told from the perspective of somebody seeing him from far away. Whew, terrifying.
Have you seen the film?
No,
that
because
just came out a couple years ago.
I know.
You're a grown man.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
No. I was like, I'm not gonna watch that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you look at a lot of movies and say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he doesn't watch
You
movies
don't
that
watch
he wants
movies
That I want to
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh, I guess I'm next.
Yeah, JD, what's
Next.
So for me, there was a little film called The Dark Crystal. And there is a scene involving Skeksis.
Describe what a
this,
Skeksis is.
these
The Skeksis are bird-like Muppet creatures.
Don't they look like almost like vultures?
Vultures. They're that's what they are.
yeah,
Yes,
they're
they're based on vultures, I
vulture.
would assume. But they're also kind of like
crack.
wet and
Yeah.
snotty.
Yeah, and they're big.
And they've got like pustules almost, and they're huge, right? They're
Right.
like people-sized. But there is a scene in there where I think one of the Skeksis, I don't know his name,
John.
is dethroned and decrowned.
Oh yes, that's right. That's right.
And all of the other Skeksis are kind of crowding around him and pulling off his garments. In my head, as a very small child, I thought they were literally tearing him limb for limb. I thought that all the things that were coming off of him were his body parts, like one might deconstruct a beetle, you know, like just big chunks of things coming off of him, and that gave me nightmares.
The scene immediately after that where they show him now considerably smaller with a frail little body, like
Yeah.
scared against the wall.
Oh yeah, shaking.
That's
yeah.
almost just as creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, so did you figure it out like sort of immediately?
stopped
or
watching.
you still
I was
intriguing.
like, this
Yeah.
is horrible.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until much later that I was like, numbskull. That's just his clothes.
to be fair, with childhood trauma, that's a family movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dark
Right.
Crystal is a family movie.
Right, that's a
family
Jim Henson
family
special.
movies in the 80s went real hard.
I used to love
Like
that.
real hard.
You know, I had a children's literature professor once who was telling us about like the fact that children's stories are cyclical in nature as to how much adults think kids should be exposed to, how much it's like, no, this is what helps you deal with that later in life, or you shouldn't be exposed to it because that would be bad for you later in life, or that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it just kind of goes back and forth.
I feel like right now, these sort of movies that we grew up with, not Nightmare on Elm Street, but things like maybe Monster Squad, Goonies,
Wouldn't be made today.
The Gate, things that are skewed younger but are on the edgier side. I don't think we really get those as much. Am I mistaken?
Destroyer.
What?
Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah, Conan the Destroyer. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Is that a kids
dude.
movie?
There was,
it was for
so-
me. Will Chamberlain was in it. What?
I saw it when I was like 10. Yeah,
no,
Conan the Destroyer was
Love
awesome.
That movie, dude.
There was a conversation on a podcast that we listened to. It's called the Filmcast.
Yes, previously / film.
They were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, how it is very much a PG-13 movie, and a lot of people were asking, like, can I take my children or not? Because I feel like we've slapped PG-13 on literally everything to the point where it's lost any kind of like real rating. Like PG and PG-13 are like the same thing, but then when you see a movie that actually pushes the boundaries of what PG-13 can do, it's considered adult.
Yeah.
Well, and also it can get rated PG-13 for language.
For like two
And-
words.
Right. And it's like, well, that's basically nothing
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
something that would actually bother a child that you would want to be aware of before
Like,
taking them.
like torturing animals and ripping people's faces
In
off.
this
and things
particular
like that.
case,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can torture animals in a PG. Like Babe is about a pig running away from. There's a lot of ways to get around that.
In
But I
Babe,
didn't-
it's
so
in Babe,
having
it's
seen
implied.
Guardians 3, I didn't see what you guys were talking
It's
about. as
animal
far as
abuse, the
something-
movie.
It's animal. Yeah, in
Yeah, I
Babe,
didn't
it's
see it.
implied. It's behind closed doors, and it's just a part of the plot line.
but you see- but
wait,
just-
wait. You just said behind closed doors.
It is. It's implied. Like
not-
they,
it's not
they
all
take the
behind
kids.
closed
To,
doors.
they take the animals to like the big door. I haven't
But
seen it in
shouldn't that
20
be
years. but-
PG behind closed doors? If
It-
they don't
it is
actually
PG.
show mutilation.
He's
Talking about your movie,
My movie.
Babe.
Babe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
In
Babe
Babe,
is
it's
this one.
behind-
Behind closed
No,
doors. and it's-
Guardians 3. I saw it recently.
Oh, you did.
And
say
I was
No, it isn't- it
and I
isn't-
was looking for like, where's like an arm getting spliced? It's not that bad.
It's not an arm getting spliced, but you do. First of all, you
You're
certainly see the effects of the mutilation
sure.
on the animals, and I do believe that there is some scenes, a couple of scenes where you see what's being done to Rocket. Even if you may not exactly see it going in the head, but you certainly can see they're doing something to
Yeah,
him.
all the fresh stitches of like
Right.
his whole head
And
having been ripped off.
maybe even more so, the emotions of these captive and sad
Yes.
animals,
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
would be far more effective to some children than maybe not all children, but that could be the thing that you don't have to see that it happens and it's sad.
Very true.
You know, yeah.
And especially considering that these are animals that are anthropomorphized, so
Right.
kids are used to seeing those
Right.
kind of characters being mean, like it's safe for them, and now they're being abused. So
It's like in the third act of Thumper, if they shot him in the
Oh
face. In Bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
third
that-
act of Bambi, if they shot Thumper in
Yeah.
the face.
That would have been
For an emotional
harder
beat.
than,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
in the way that they
PG-13.
did it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sam's in the chat saying, "Oh my God, I love that book," meaning the scary
Scary
stories to
Stories.
tell in the dark. We read it at sleepovers.
Ooh.
Dane says, "Oh, Tim Curry as Pennywise, great acting, but scary to see as a 9-year-old kid."
Sure.
Absolutely
TV
banger of a performance by Tim Curry, and he's going to come up a little later today, actually.
The thing
Wayne
about
Knowles.
that, the thing about that being a TV movie though is because it was a TV movie, some people feel like that's safe harbor.
Yeah.
So you watch it and then you realize, oh,
You're like, "Oh
whoa,
shit."
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Hold up.
he was terrifying.
You will not walk by the sewer.
We all float down here, Georgie. See above. Oh, all dogs go to heaven. Waterworks, says Sam.
She's talking about the TV
VHS?
VHS cover of Ghoulies.
Oh, Ghoulies. Right. Yeah.
You
with
can't-
the
yeah, you
guy
can't-
coming out of the toilet.
You can't hide from things that are like.
Everyone's
yes,
gotta
you can-
poop.
You can explicitly not go to a horror movie when you're younger.
Yeah.
But you can't before Netflix and streaming, and you have to like literally find things. You can't hide from a poster
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
a VHS arts
Yeah.
or
Walking in
what's
the
on the
Blockbuster.
4 channels you have.
Yeah.
Like you were exposed to them unwillingly more often than you can be today.
Yeah, because two of
true.
these that we've mentioned so far, only so far, are just scenes. You could turn on something on TV and already have seen it by the time it happened.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't know to avoid
Well,
it.
Len and I
Yeah.
were talking about that before the show. I mean, this whole childhood trauma for me was exclusively experienced changing the channels.
Oh yeah.
And you
Yeah.
would just catch USA or TNT or God forbid Sci-Fi Network.
Oh, yeah.
As you're going from one to the other, and you would just catch a demonized, horrible image.
I remember-
And you didn't even mean to do it.
I remember trying to flick the channels fast enough.
Yeah.
There was always a delay though, so it was like to try and get to
100%.
that. Yeah, absolutely.
That would be like
We're
my
old.
sister would either
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to sleep or not that night, depending on what we went by.
Yeah.
On the channel.
Wow.
Like God forbid Child's Play's on.
I love those
Ooh,
movies.
so good. And then the other one is it's a very tiny scene. It is seconds at most in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
And he is hitchhiking, and this lovely older woman picks him up, and she's a truck driver. She's driving the truck, and they have a wonderful conversation. I don't remember it. And he gets out, and she turns to him and says, "Tell him Large Marge sent you." And then does the scariest. It was a claymation, right? It was like a claymation boogada boogada face, and
The eyes
holy
popping out,
Oh,
right? Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It like almost it didn't belong in that movie. That's why it was so
So out
shocking.
of place. It was so, but that was a Tim Burton.
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it belongs
Makes
in
sense.
Untimbered.
Well, I mean,
Now, you know
it
what's
was like his
interesting?
first flick. So
That's one of yours, right?
Yeah.
And Nightmare on Elm Street is one of mine. I don't know the relative ages that we saw these things.
Yes.
But you like Nightmare on Elm Street a lot. And I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I was like, oh, what a cool
Yeah.
thing that happened. Like, I'm sure I thought it was
Oh,
spooky or
the
whatever.
Large Marge thing was cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, not
Mark
cool.
was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then he walks into the Joe and he's like, Large Marge.
Yeah.
sent me." I was looking at him like,
Skirt. Yeah.
But it was like a fun to be spooky thing. And, like, why would that be? You know what I mean?
But I also was terrified of Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So it took me a while. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was the first one I saw,
Hmm.
where dude's veins were ripped out of his arms and legs, and
Oh, that's awful.
he was
That's
Like, he was puppetized, like by Freddy, by his veins. He became a marionette.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so good, so good. Hey, Len,
yes.
it is your turn to trauma dump.
I don't know what order they're in.
There you go.
Where am I? Oh, okay, cool. Oh, this was one that I shared with. I believe I shared with you. We've talked about it before.
It's a great movie. I just watched it a couple years ago.
There was a movie from the 70s starring a very young Anthony Hopkins. Yes, he was young once.
He was born 75.
Well, this was when he was 76.
Talking about Father
And he plays a ventriloquist
Already
and
creepy.
who has like this a ventriloquist dummy, and the movie is called Magic, and he is and the puppet, as they always do, more or less is alive in this movie. I saw it as a kid. It freaked me the hell out. I will never look at ventriloquist dummies the same ever again.
Luckily, you don't really have to. They're not really all over the place
Anymore.
don't know. You don't know.
Anymore.
because they traumatize so many children.
But in the 70s,
Yeah.
they were everywhere.
Really? Were they?
You had Waylon Jennings and Madam. You had there was a black comedian who had a
Phil Collins videos with nothing but like.
yes,
Oh, right.
they were all over the freaking place, man, and they always look so freaking scary and weird, dude.
I forgot about Solid Gold, Madam,
and then
whatever
not
her name
long
is. Jesus
after
Christ.
seeing this movie that traumatized the fuck out of me, I then watched, because my brother said, you'll love the Twilight Zone. So we watched the Twilight Zone, and
Yes.
there's an episode of the Twilight Zone
Yeah, there is.
where not only does a guy have a ventriloquist dummy that comes to life and makes him murder people, but then it turns him into the ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
And the ventriloquist dummy is now the dude. I'm like, Mom!
Have we talked before about the Tales from the Crypt episode with Bobcat Goldthwait, right?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Where he is a
Ventriloquist dummy.
who sucks, and his half brother, little monster person,
Yeah.
is small enough to fit in the dummy, but
Yeah.
then like fuses to his hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I gotta rewatch that.
No, I didn't, because I turned it on and I saw what was happening. I said, I've seen this.
This never
Well-
turns out well.
Len, I have a surprise for you, Dylan. If you want to put the movie on, close the doors. Let's go.
Bring
out the dummies.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, because my other scary moment that that JD had a hand in this as well. Oh, no, it wasn't this. You're right. You didn't. I'm sorry, but it's close to this.
Cool.
Because
It's your fault, regardless.
if everybody remembers the great first movie of Indiana Jones,
Yes.
The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Great movie.
So good.
Legitimately
So
a great
good.
movie. I sat in the movie theaters with my family, was enjoying the hell out of this movie. Loved it. Always,
Starring Dr. Octopus.
yes, Harrison
Alfred
Ford.
Molina.
No.
Alfred
Molina.
Molina.
Alfred Molina.
Okay, I
He's in the
forgot.
first scene.
Yeah.
Is- oh,
yeah.
oh, that's right. He is. Okay.
Yeah.
Karen Allen.
Look, I love the movie, but all I know is about in the next, close to the end of the movie,
Yeah.
when the Nazis find the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
And they open up the Ark of the Covenant, and then for some reason, in my mind, the ghost of the Virgin Mary comes out of there. But then the ghost of the Virgin Mary turns into this ghoulish fiend.
That tracks.
And now people start to melt
Yeah.
all over in this movie. Now, flashback, 2 weeks before I saw this movie,
Yeah.
I had a Shazam action figure, which I loved, but for some reason the head would pop off.
Yeah, yeah.
As I was playing with my Shazam action figure, the head had popped off and rolled in front of a space heater in my house.
Oh no.
No.
I went to get the head to put it back onto the body.
Yeah.
But unbeknownst to my little mind, as it sat there in front of the space heater, the heat was already getting to it. So when I put my hand on his head, it literally disintegrated in my hand. I have been traumatized about melting for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
at the point where my mom and dad say, I am going to make it up to you, son, and take you to the movies to see the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, no.
Oh God, dude, look, man, I can't see this. I can't.
What a
watch
good
this.
effect, though.
I can't.
And it's not
The
just
special
one
effects.
Nazi;
Yeah.
it's multiple Nazis of like,
I know,
so good.
that's the thing, because I had already, when things scare me in the movie, I train myself to kind of like maybe like squint and then
Yeah.
wait till I see the scene kind of like shift,
Change,
the light
yeah.
shift. So I see the light shift and I open my eyes and the rest of
Just
them are
other
melting.
ones.
yeah. It went from melt face, melt face.
Yes.
melt face.
Yeah.
God.
Nice.
This was one of the first stories that Len told me when we met. And I died. I was like, are you serious? Really? And now I can't even watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think of you now.
That's
Now,
adorable.
the part where you come in,
Yeah, I'm
JD,
curious.
Here
is
we go.
I
because
was the Nazis.
It's disappointing.
All along. The Nazi was
Nazis
inside
were
of
the
me.
friendships you made along the way.
I hated
Real specific meme.
God, sorry. I'm sorry.
I hated things melting all the time. And then fast forward, of course, which means that every time there's scenes of people melting or disintegrating, oh fuck y'all.
They put it on the big screen.
I hate things melting. Candles.
Anything time
Wax.
things are melting, I can't even look at it.
Marshmallows.
And then
Yeah,
I made the
Dali
mistake
painting.
of telling you in the midst of when we were trying to do some stupid podcast thing about the scene from RoboCop where the guy melts at the end of RoboCop.
Help me, man. Help me, man.
So, fast forward to we go to shooting the pilot for this podcast where we're all talking about all the things that we scare and everything like that. And we're all locked into a room and we're watching on this big screen as we're filming our little pilot. And everybody on the podcast, because JD had wrote them into it,
I don't remember
the big scene comes up of the RoboCop scene.
Yeah.
Emblazoned on the wall in front of me as Kennedy and JD make sure they sit on the side of me like
It was a really big screen. Too. I remember that. Like it was the whole side of a
yes.
wall.
I remember this, yeah,
yes. I'm like fuck.
But
y'all.
then we watched Scott Pilgrim. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yes, in time I was over it.
Doesn't seem like it.
I'm a really good friend. Yeah.
You're a Nazi.
I've heard something interesting
The
about
friendships we made along the way.
if there was an actual Ark of the Covenant. There
Yeah.
are those stories surround it as well, and some people have wondered, was there radioactive material in there? Was there uranium or something like that? And that would cause somewhat similar effects.
All Indy and Marion had to do was close their eyes. So no,
Duh.
Oh, that's a good point.
unless
That
I
does
close
not-
my eyes and radiation can't get me,
Give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Hey, Randy,
Yo.
what you got?
All right, so let's start this by saying I've never been a dog person.
Okay.
Not a fan.
So you're evil.
I've been
Okay.
chased by lots of dogs as a kid.
Yeah,
you
same.
know, whatever. And we're also going to start this by saying I loved my mother. She was a wonderful human being.
Okay. Noted.
She also had zero discretion as far as we're going to the movies. All right, fine. So we go. We're up in Plymouth meeting. What's this Cujo about?
It sounds delightful.
I'm watching this movie. I was like,
Is it like Snoopy?
It's a puppy that finds its way home.
I'm like, what? Why am I here, woman? Like, what? No, I'm leaving. I was like, I need all the quarters in your purse. I'm gonna go play video games. I swear to you, I still have never seen that entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
I
Now-
went and played video games until I ran out of quarters, and then I went like this, covered my eyes, and I ran back inside. I was like, Mom, I need some more quarters. Give me some more quarters. And I ran back. I could not. No. And then the funny part is, I knew it was going to be kind of weird because I remember seeing the book, right?
Yeah.
And on the paperback of the book, there was a cutout of like the dog's
mouth.
Right?
Yeah.
All you could see was the teeth, and I was like, "What is this?" I never even wanted to know what it was, not realizing it was a dog.
Yeah. I see.
So I was like, "No."
Can you summarize Cujo for anybody that might not know what it is?
It's about a dog that gets rabies and then eats an entire town.
Oh, it's
As
not
far as I
It
remember.
does not.
It's
eat
not
a
As far as I
supernatural
remember,
at all.
it
Yeah.
eats the entire town.
And then it runs for mayor. Of course, I didn't see it. It runs for mayor.
Oh, I know.
it makes the town great again.
It makes Jaws
It's,
its running partner.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
they
there's one
run a
part I remember,
marathon.
like
For that
the
sea vote.
mom
Yeah.
whoever the mom was and the kid are inside the
From
car.
E.T.
They're stuck in the car.
And the
90% of
dog
movie.
is just like, like
on the
barking
window
at
of the car.
Yeah.
So-
I was like, nope.
So I will say, like, the movie freaked me out when I was younger. I did see it, but it didn't freak me out because of the
Wallace.
dog. There was a whole scene. I had childhood asthma. There's a whole scene where the kid
Same.
has an asthma attack in the car because he's so
Yep.
scared,
Yep.
and she doesn't have his inhaler.
Yep.
So this kid is like going into shock and it's like a really really tense fucking scene.
Yep.
That scared me more than the dog ever did.
Specifically, there is a scene where he leans back and she's trying to wake him up, and his eyes are rolled
And he's
so far back
starting
in
to
his
swallow
head.
his tongue and shit too. Yeah.
And his eyes are just white because his eyes are so
I
far
seem
back.
to remember that. Yeah.
And that, seeing just that image of that little boy who was probably my age, going through that is what gave me nightmares and made me horrified of that movie.
I ain't seen none of that
So
shit.
you skipped
Also,
out
when
on
I
a good
was
time.
that dog was like, peace.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. Will not go near it. No.
They
Fair
both
enough.
they both
Yeah.
live.
No.
Yeah.
You know what's
Spoilers.
funny, Randy, is the writer also has never seen the movie nor remembers writing the book.
He was too high.
So
Yeah.
the best
Yeah,
story
Stephen King.
about Stephen King is Cujo. He went up to a cabin with a bunch of cocaine.
Nice.
And woke up 3 days later with a wastebasket full of bloody tissues and a finished manuscript for
Jesus
Cujo.
Christ. Man, I get high and I just nap. Why can't I be
that's-
productive?
I-
How are
You
you
go to a
napping
cabin.
on
Doing the
cocaine?
wrong shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm
exactly.
just, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I should try
exactly.
coke.
You can't try coke.
He doesn't remember like directing his first movie.
Oh,
First and only movie, Maximum
Overdrive,
Overdrive. Yeah.
starring the Green Goblin's face on a truck
On a
for some reason.
Yeah, don't ask me.
Yeah, what was your other one? Because this one is a fucking classic.
Okay. Fucking dogs again.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Even scarier dogs.
I sense a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. I'm a sci-fi guy. Okay, cool. Kurt Russell's in this movie.
Yeah.
All right, Kurt Russell
With
Kurt
a beard.
Russell's- Kurt
20%
Russell in
cooler.
Everything is. I loved. I don't remember if this was before or after Escape from New York.
After.
After. I loved Escape from New York.
1982.
Yeah, these were the parents I had. Yeah, go ahead and watch Escape from New York. Who cares? All right, Kurt Russell.
Keith David.
Okay, this looks cool.
Wilford Brimley.
What?
Him of the diabetes.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so there's
Oatmeal's own Wilford Brimley.
Wow. He did movies?
Quaker Oatmeal's own.
For some reason, my mother decided, hey, let's go take the kids to see John Carpenter's The Thing.
Wow.
Ooh.
Now, to be fair,
No.
from her point of view, it's entirely possible that she thought it might be like the movie it's based on, The Thing from Another World, which was very tame.
Let me explain.
Well, it's very
That-
tame, but it was still the sci-fi kind of like
Sci-fi
thriller
horror
of the
movies,
50s.
Okay, so listen to me. My two older kids, when they were 9 and 12, their mother took them to see Deadpool.
Oh yeah. Is that bad? I guess that's bad. Okay.
I feel like if
Yes.
you I feel like if you're 10 to 13, that's a movie you see at home.
Oh, okay.
Not like go to the movies for it, right?
So,
scary?
Not scary,
wanna see
just
this
in
movie,
general.
And it's
Violent.
kind of trippy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, wait. And then like the only thing I remember is there's this dog, and then it starts
Several dogs.
doing things, and then I'm like, oh,
John
why?
Carpenter's things.
No,
Yeah.
no. Why am I, mother? Why? Why? Goodbye.
Give me all the coins in
To
your
the
purse.
hallway.
That
Out
first
to the hallway. I
it-
just kind of chilled. I forget where this was, but there were no video games, so I was just like, I'm chilling.
that first scene is just that first like transformation scene is just magic. Like
They still haven't put
the
it.
Dog's
dog head
face
does,
splits open.
it doesn't just split, it also kind of flowers, like
Yeah.
it goes slits
Yeah,
up and down,
yeah.
and then all of the tentacles
Tentacles start coming out.
fly up into the ceiling and then like pull itself out.
I start so a few years back. I can't remember if it was one of the toy companies put out a figure of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was,
it was Todd
I'm,
McFarlane.
I'm looking through previews. I was like, and I threw the book. I'm like, nope.
And then I
nope,
burnt it and I buried the ashes.
Yeah.
no. I've still never seen that movie.
I have that action
I
figure.
want nothing to do with that movie. Ever.
The half dog face one.
Ever.
The bigger one.
I was
nice.
like, nah, man, you not. Nope.
My mom also
Still don't
got
like
me to
dogs.
watch
Fuck
that
dogs.
movie for the first time.
One dog in the world that I like now.
My mom
Snoopy.
is your dog. Your dog.
No,
Snoopy?
I don't know. No, Zeus.
My mom
good name for
also
his dog.
introduced me to the thing. There was like after I stopped being scared of just scary movies in general, I think it was maybe like 12 or 13, she started giving me like, well, I liked this one. You might like it. And one of them was The Thing. And I was like,
It is a
it
classic.
gave me nightmares, but for some reason I was still obsessed with it. I think that was
so
maybe one of
good.
the first
It's
ones.
So good.
Still don't know what happened in that movie. I have
It's a master class
no
of
idea
like
what happened.
suspense thriller.
Yeah, I showed my wife it for the first time a couple years ago, and she's not a scary movie person.
Yeah.
And she loved it.
I mean, it's a good movie.
I still don't even remember. I don't even remember what happened. Like there was something,
God.
and then a dog split in half.
Yeah.
And
that's all you
then-
needed.
And Kurt Russell. I was like, peace.
Sam C says, my best friend's idiot mother let us watch Cujo at sleepover when I was 6. I had
hope she's not
severe
watching.
asthma as a kid, so it was scary. Dane says, oh my God, The Thing.
The other thing about going back to Cujo is that the worst part about it is that, especially around that time, like the trope of a mad or mean or devil dog was already a thing.
Yeah.
But you always thought it was either like a Great Dane, sometimes a German Shepherd.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
This was like a big
Dobermans,
Yeah.
Dobermans.
You know,
Yeah,
Doberman.
Dobermans all
But
day.
this was a Saint Bernard.
Bernard.
Yes,
It's
it was
supposed to be
help
safe.
people.
Like
It was
they, in the
Beethoven.
cartoons, those are the ones that come save you.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got the big
got beer.
Yeah.
You got a thing in the
Yeah,
world,
no,
and
it
he
is.
makes a martini.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it supposed to be like bourbon
that
or
joke.
something like that?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
bourbon.
it's brown it's brown alcohol to warm.
Oh,
it
is that
up.
what it was? I
Yeah.
always thought it was beer as a kid. I didn't know.
You can order whatever you want.
Speaking of
Yeah,
kid-friendly,
when you're stuck in the snow, you send them back if
Yeah.
it's the wrong order. And
I
they
wanted
come
a
back
lager.
a day later. Yeah.
speaking of kid-friendly cartoons, if I may, real quick, this I can't believe I forgot about this. We went to Orleans 8 to go see a
I remember
movie
the
with my
Orleans 8.
brother
Yeah.
and my father, and they were trying to figure out what movie to see. We're just sitting out front looking at the posters. What do we see? And they say, well, let's go see Gremlins. And I say, what's a gremlin? And they say, hey, you know in Bugs Bunny, where they're on the plane and there's like that little guy with the weird ears and he turns plaid and that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. I love that dude. Let's go see that movie. And then they took me to see The Gremlins. And I didn't even make it through the movie. I put my legs up like this because I was 100% sure they were on the floor and would eat my feet.
How old are you? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, it was last week.
Another Twilight Zone connection, because I would assume that Bugs Bunny episode that fooled you was based on a Twilight Zone episode
Yeah.
with a
Which
gremlin
was
on it.
which was really
That's
good.
the
the,
movie.
Bu-
80,000
the,
feet.
the
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny cartoon precedes the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Really?
Actually, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's from
actually
the 40s.
It wasn't actually
Oh,
in a
wow.
plane. It was trying to detonate the bombs
Yeah.
Yes.
at the warehouse.
No, it was on a plane.
It was on a plane.
It was on
Eventually.
The plane. No, the
Eventually.
Gremlin is on the plane. The Gremlin is like because they fly. They're flying.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're on a plane, but it precedes the
Yeah,
That's
Twilight Zone
interesting.
episode,
yeah.
But similar, obviously. I assume Bugs Bunny.
Not really.
No, just from that description, it kind of sounded like it was.
I know.
Yeah, forget it.
Nope, you're wrong.
You ever seen that one? He's got a little blue head.
It does sound kind of familiar,
He's
but
got that
it's been a
little laugh.
while. Yeah,
That's his laugh. He does it like 50 times in the episode.
It's no Gremlins 2.
that's a good movie too.
Oh, Gremlins
Yeah.
2 was a good time.
This guy.
It really was a good time. I love that movie.
Yeah,
Gremlin.
kinda.
Hey, Noel,
Yeah.
wrap us up, Bubba.
Mine's hyper specific. Don't cheat. There's
I already memorized.
I had a very acute fear of video stores.
Because of the VHS art?
Hold on. It's worse.
Oh.
Okay, so I had a very acute fear of I was obsessed with movies, but I was afraid to go into the video store.
Because they had cash registers.
Specific, yes,
Yeah.
cash.
Capitalism.
It was dirty money. No, in our local video store, there was a life-size standee of Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I sent a picture of the actual standee. I found it. It is a full body of Freddy
Yep.
with his tongue between his
Yep.
claws, just
Yep.
staring
Oh,
at you.
it's so
Yep.
good.
Yep.
So I was 5 to 8. That range, because even though the movie was old and there was many sequels, they kept that fucking standee up for years.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the
But
kids
it
away.
was at first it was I couldn't walk in. I could walk into the store, but I can't go past it. And the kids section was on the other side of the store altogether.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was my mom. Yeah, you can go ahead. I would have my brother or my sister pick me up, and I would bury my head, and we'd run past it.
Oh my god.
That worked for a while, but then I knew it was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause you
So
know
then
it's
I
there.
couldn't go into the video store.
At
So
all.
what I would do is I would look up what came out and what I'd want to rent,
tell
and
them.
wait outside.
How did you look it up?
The video store actually had catalogs of things that were coming out when they
interesting.
were coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
So I would actually just like earmark shit.
All right.
That's wow.
And then I would like I knew that this Tuesday this movie was coming out. Can we go
Yeah.
rent it? And then I would stand outside and wait. It became all video stores after a while because I don't know what they got on their walls.
Yeah.
So it really
That's a
was just
shame.
this one standee ruined like 5 years of my life.
That's a shame.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
But then
Disparate reactions.
the movies, I ended up starting to love the movies. I think
Yeah,
I
they're
think I
great.
finally saw one. The first one I saw was maybe like 12 or 13. It was well, the one with the waterbed, not the first one. The one where he's in the waterbed.
Oh yeah, there's the naked model in the bed.
Is that 4?
That was 4. Yeah.
I saw that on TV,
Yeah.
on UPN.
Oh wow. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Channel 12.
And my mom thought it was
UPN.
awesome.
59.
My
CBS.
brother and
57.
my brother and I both had waterbeds.
Oh no.
Before that.
Yep.
Whoa.
My brother had a waterbed. I refused to
My
go
brother
near
and I
it
had waterbeds.
because of
so,
Nightmare.
So that started, just seeing that one scene started, like it rehashed everything else.
Yeah.
And then started a trend of me sleeping at the bottom edge of my waterbed so I could jump out of it fast
Yeah.
in case anything happened.
That's a good idea.
Which is funny because even if you're in a regular bed, doesn't
Not
matter.
easy.
Motherfucker will get you.
Yeah, not easy.
He'll just whoop. He'll Johnny Depp whoop.
But yeah, for like a good 10 years, I did not sleep in the middle of my bed.
That
10
happened
years.
to Johnny Depp in
That's
the
hard.
first.
Yeah,
film.
from like, oh, no, not
Oh, I
10
thought it
years.
was a
I'm
complete
sorry.
non sequitur.
Felt
Yeah,
like
which is
10
why
years.
I thought when you
Maybe like 5 years.
Oh, all right.
That's how Johnny Depp gets
That sucks
killed.
still, though. I'm sorry that
It's
happened.
Oh
interesting.
no, it's like funny in hindsight, but like that fucking standee still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I bought a shirt a couple years ago of like that same picture of like Freddie.
Own your fear.
It
Like how Batman
Well, it
dresses a
gave
bat
me a
because of
minute.
the
I
cape.
I saw it in my cart and
Yeah.
I was like, this is really cool. I could wear this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll put it on. I won't have to see it.
But every once in a while, I'll open my drawer and it'll be like, yeah, no, that's a choice. That was my choice.
If you don't want it, I'll take it. We're almost the same size.
Yeah, I'll give it.
And then you'll have to look at him wear it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
no, fuck that, no.
I just sent you
It's funny you bring up
selfies.
video stores. I remember like back when video stores were like super local. They weren't like like the Blockbuster. They were
Yeah,
mom
man.
and pops,
It was a mom and pop joint.
grocery stores, video stores, and like on TV in like the 70s or in 80s when you would see like the cool kid have their room in the house, they wouldn't have a door on the. They wouldn't have a
Yes.
door. They'd have like the beads.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they were cool.
Yeah.
Right. The Partridge Family had beads on it. So I went to the local like mom and pop video
the
store.
beads.
And
Oh, the
I saw
Here
a
we
room
go.
that had beads
Oh,
in front. I was like,
yes.
"Oh, it's the cool stuff."
Yeah.
And I
You were
went-
right.
I went in the
Cool
back.
stuff.
I went in the back, and I stood there,
Why
and
is
I
everything
just because
sticky?
it was the adult section, and
I knew why.
All I saw, what I now know are breasts. All I knew was these are
God.
the best balloons in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my older brother, 7 years older than me, my brother Aaron, he came. No, you would think. He came back there. He put his hand on my shoulder. He's like, "What are you doing back here? Why are you back here? You shouldn't be back here."
I've come to
We
get
should-
you.
We should get out of
We
here.
must leave post haste.
We need to hit the dusty trail.
Ooh, trail.
What's your next one? You got one more?
I do. There's a I guess it's not really forgotten. Ridley Scott movie called Legend
Oh yeah, I remember the legend.
from 1984 or 85,
Yeah.
starring a very young Tom Cruise and Sarah.
And
Tim Curry. Tim
there
Curry
he
is. Yeah.
is not what scared me. He plays the darkness,
buff
which
as
is
fuck
which is
demon.
essentially just a big old demon. There's a scene in the movie
Dude, rippled.
where
Biggest horns ever.
Yes.
oh yeah, where Tom Cruise has to pass a swamp and has to get past Meg Mucklebones, which is a sea witch.
Yeah, she was creepy.
She's the nastiest looking thing
Creepy as.
I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh well, yeah.
And this is
even
like
creepier than old Greg.
this is kind of like this is a family movie for the most
It
part.
is, yeah. Oh, the family fantasy film.
So these like this is what we grew up with in the 80s, the idea that like these are family films or these are fantasy films for the whole brood, and they have something fucking terrifying in the middle of it, and they make no apologies. We watched this scene earlier today to show you.
I had never seen it.
So you've never seen Legend, and you should because it's wild.
Yeah, you would like it.
So we watched the scene and like, oh, you're creepy, you're creepy. Spoiler: Tom Cruise chops her head off.
No.
And any other movie, it'd be like, oh, that's it. No, it's about 10 seconds of her screaming
Switching,
and flailing about, and it's just so goddamn terrifying. So
They're
terrifying.
throwing up all of our trauma up on the screen
Yeah,
to,
it's
to haunt us. This now that I'm seeing, I can't believe I didn't place this earlier. You know who else this is?
That's Picardy, right? Or
From the movie Witches. Did anybody see Witches? From the
The Roald Dahl.
yeah.
I was gonna say it's got like a Roald Dahl kind of look to it.
so
Did you not
the
see the
design.
movie?
who played?
Legend?
No, Witches.
I don't believe so.
Oh man, when
I
she
remember.
takes off her face and it's so gross.
That's right. Okay, Robert Picardo.
Who's Robert Picardo?
Oh,
that guy.
the doctor from Star Trek. Oh,
Yeah.
Meg Mucklebones is Robert Picardo.
That's awesome.
Oh wow,
Really?
that's wow.
Oh wow.
That's good makeup.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's a good actor.
But this was scary as hell. This did it for me. I loved
That's a
the
good one.
movie, but I did. There scenes in this movie and scenes in Neverending Story. I had to close my eyes. In Neverending Story, it was the giant turtle that talked like a stoner. I don't know, like that scared the shit out of me.
It's weird when like things that
Yeah.
weird things just like
Sets off some of
Okay, I got one for you.
Oh, all right.
Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
Half of it.
Calibos.
Who?
Calibos,
which one
his
is
brother, his half brother, the devil, the
Oh,
demon
with
guy
the-
with the
Oh
with the,
yes,
with the horns.
yes.
Now, Calibos was terrifying. I'm watching Sixers Celtics. Robert Parrish comes on the screen. Robert Parrish and Calibos should be twin brothers.
They got the same face.
I was
They
like,
do.
oh God!
They do.
Oh, that's the guy from the movie. What? No.
Yes.
No.
They do have the exact same
Dude.
face. Yes.
Find Calibos, find Robert Parrish. They're the same dude. I was like,
That's so mean.
It is the exact same face.
I was like, oh my God, how is this
From
the
the,
same ball?
That's the
Remake.
2010. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how is this guy
Yeah, that's
playing
true.
basketball and trying to kill Perseus?
So
No.
Calibos in the original movie, very terrifying.
Yes. Calibos in a green jersey playing basketball?
Terrifying.
Unexpectedly? More
I
terrifying.
mean, when you're not a Celtics fan, very
See,
yeah.
Dane's saying, yes, Legend has a great 80s soundtrack by Tangerine Dream, and Meg was played by Ricardo Montalban. Very
Not
close.
too
Very
far
close, yeah.
off.
Yeah, close. Con.
And there's an
Sam-
O at the end of one of their names each.
Sam says, I loved the first movie, Witches. Didn't see the second one. There
You
was a
never
second
will.
Witches?
Well, there was a remake. You never will because it was taking off of HBO Max.
Oh.
It was an HBO Max movie, and they took
Right.
it off because of
Was it a sequel
so-
or a remake?
it was a remake.
Okay. Yeah.
Anybody got anything else?
No,
that it?
that's properly terrifying.
That's it.
for
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thing, I think.
Maybe I was sleeping on it all.
This is not on that topic at all, but what would you guys say if I were to tell you that my fiance, Tamara, has tuned in to watch a little bit of this
Tonight.
right now?
Hi.
And
Hi, hey,
So
what's up,
she
T?
missed,
How
she
you doing,
missed the
baby?
beginning. Maybe I should have cleared that up. She didn't see the beginning, and I was going to beseech you to let your feelings out to her directly, to say
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Mad love.
He told us the whole story. He could have
Yes.
done better, but we still think it's amazing.
At telling the story.
At the store.
You guys set a date yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you
Oh,
pregnant?
yeah, where's the date? When's the date?
When's the
What's the
date?
baby
When's
do?
the date? When's the date?
Is it
When are you
twins?
getting married? Have you picked a date yet?
Name him JD.
Do you need a divorce lawyer?
Oh, hey, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is another good one, Sam. That was
Ooh,
another
yeah.
traumatizing one where he dips.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he dips the cartoon into the
Shoe. The cartoon
Yeah.
shoe.
cartoon shoe. That's right. Oh.
Well, see that part, but also when he gets run over.
Oh
by the
yeah, he
steamroller,
heals
flattens-
himself
right?
up.
He flattens
Yeah.
him. That was, I would say,
I think
more
before
so.
that, honestly, the when I killed your brother, I talked like this. That whole
Yes.
scene, that whole progression of the dagger eyes, like
What about the part when Daffy Duck gets caught? No, let me stop.
Don't go there.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, he was awesome in that movie. I gotta rewatch that. I haven't seen it since the.
remember
back in
me,
the day.
Eddie.
Thank you all, says Tamara. Well, thank you for hanging out with us and listening to us dump our childhood traumas upon you. We will be here again next week when we will discuss something else.
Oh,
Yes.
it's gonna be something else this time.
A thing that is not this thing. Okay.
Yeah, some other thing.
A thing, a marvelous thing.
It'll be great. Just visit.
Len, where can
Yeah.
people find you?
Where they do.
No.
Oh,
Found
well, I'm
where
gonna
he
be
is
I'm gonna be
found.
even more specific than that. You can find us
If possible.
You can find us on all social medias at CultPopGo or CultPopGo, or email us at cultpopgo.com at gmail.com. I got this. And every Wednesday morning, JD and I do a podcast called Fresh Floppies, where we do spoiler-free reviews of comic books that come out today.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Yeah. Brian,
I'm at brianliebdesign.com.
where is your registry? Where can people buy you wedding presents?
Oh, that's
Shit,
a good
how
question.
did I not do that?
We don't have a registry yet, but I'll tell you what. This does not excuse you from getting us a gift. If you want to give me some cash right now,
Oh, okay.
I'll also accept that.
All my pocket full of
I'll
quarters.
take your iPad.
I left my doubloons in my other pants.
Or you could go to patreon.com/JohnnyDestructo and join Sticker Club. Randy.
Check me out, boombaptherapy.com. This coming Monday night,
Oh.
me and my partner Dolio the Sleuth, known as Mental Advisory, are doing a show at Kung Fu Necktie.
Oh, shit.
We're opening up for a dear friend of ours, Substantial.
Get out of here!
Yeah, man,
Oh,
Substantial's coming to
snap!
town. He's
Yo,
on
I'm
tour.
there. I'm there.
This Monday night, Kung Fu Necktie, Mental Advisory, myself, Arson, the Voice of Reason, my partner Dolio the Sleuth. We're going to rock out, and then Substantial's going to tear the joint down in pieces, and it's going to be a fantastic time, so definitely come through and check us out.
Nice.
Nice.
Diggity dope.
All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will talk at you later.
Damn.